Two senior officials from Russia's battalion that is notorious for torture are missing, independent Russian media outlet Astra reported on Friday. According to the report, two battalion commanders from the 5th Separate Guards Motor Rifle Brigade have reportedly gone missing after filing formal complaints accusing their superiors of ordering futile mass assaults, engaging in drug trafficking and looting, embezzling state funds, and torturing reluctant soldiers. One of the missing officers is Major Yuriy Burakov, who was the commander of the 2nd Battalion, 95th Regiment. Before his disappearance, Burakov was called to brigade headquarters in Russian-occupied Donetsk on July 27 to address a complaint he had submitted to military leadership in Moscow, which outlined the alleged misconduct within the unit. The next day, Burakov's wife reached out to the unit after she couldn't contact him. According to local reports, she was told that her husband deserted. The 5th Brigade has previously been linked to violent incidents. In September 2024, 4 of its members were charged with murdering Russell Bentley, a 63-year-old U.S. citizen and Texas resident working as a pro-Russian war correspondent for Sputnik News Agency. Bentley was mistook for a spy and reportedly tortured for over 24 hours before dying during electroshock interrogation on April 8. On July 30, Petr Lundstrom, deputy chair of the Culture Commission in the Kremlin-backed so-called Donetsk People's Republic, confirmed Burakov's disappearance on his Telegram channel. He urged brigade leadership not to execute the officers and appealed for a resolution. Donetsk-based military blogger Svyatoslav Golikov, a pro-Russian figure who supports Kremlin's war of invasion in Ukraine, commented on July 31 that the 5th Brigade was one of the most corrupt and criminal units deployed in the region. He noted that Moscow investigators who come to probe the brigade's conduct often never return. The 5th Motor Rifle Brigade originated from pro-Russian militias in Donetsk after the 2014 invasion of Ukraine and was absorbed into the Russian army in 2018. It was designated a Guards unit by President Vladimir Putin in December 2024. While independent verification of the criminal allegations is lacking, the unit's history of abusive leadership is well documented. One credible testimony comes from Roman Okuntsov, a convicted felon who joined the brigade as a sniper in October 2023 in exchange for a reduced prison sentence. After surrendering to Ukrainian forces in June 2025, Okuntsov told journalist Yuriy Burakov that extortion was widespread within the brigade. "It's terrifying, especially when commanders send hundreds of men into the wild and no one comes back," Okuntsov said. Okuntsov also accused Russia commanders of hiding his prisoner of war status to avoid compensating his family, and claimed that bribes to avoid military service were routinely accepted for around $622. Apart from senior officials, soldiers of the notorious 5th Brigade have also gone missing. In April 2024, the independent Russian media outlet Govorit Moskva released an investigative report tracking 7 soldiers from the 5th Brigade who had been missing for several months. According to reporting by Astra, senior officers of the 5th Brigade have been running a torture facility at the Petrovskaya coal mine No. 4-21 near Donetsk since the mid-2010s. A November 2024 article described common torture methods used at the site, including holding detainees in exposed pits, electric shocks, physical beatings, and staged executions.
Ukrainian special forces landed on a Russian-controlled island in the Black Sea on the night of the 28th of July and wiped out the entire garrison without any Ukrainian casualties. The target, Tendrivska Spit, a 65-kilometer sliver of land jutting into the Black Sea near occupied Kherson. Why this particular piece of sand and scrub? The Russians had turned it into an electronic warfare hub, says Euromaidan Press media outlet. Ukraine's main intelligence directorate says their commandos destroyed a Zont jamming complex and a Rosa radar station, along with the troops manning them. Here's what makes this operation notable. Tendrivska Spit sits in contested waters where both sides have been trading blows for months. The narrow island, barely 1.8 kilometers wide at its broadest point, gave Russian forces eyes and electronic ears across a significant chunk of the northern Black Sea. Not anymore. Ukrainian intelligence released footage showing their blue and yellow flag flying over the position, Euromaidan Press reports. The Black Sea is strategically vital for Ukraine because it provides access to international trade routes connecting Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. Ukraine conducts operations in the Black Sea both to defend territorial waters it considers its own and to disrupt Russian military and economic activities in the region. How did they pull it off? The operation relied on boats, funded through a private initiative called Boats for HUR, run by the Ukrainian Diana Podolyanchuk Charitable Foundation. International donors helped pay for the watercraft that carried the assault team to their target. The timing matters. Ukrainian forces have been systematically targeting Russian positions on isolated islands and coastal areas, using their advantage in small boat operations. Each successful raid forces Russia to commit more resources to defending scattered outposts. Euromaidan Press says, can Russia replace what they lost? The electronic warfare equipment destroyed in the raid represents sophisticated gear that takes months to produce and deploy. The radar station gave Russian forces advance warning of Ukrainian naval movements, a capability now gone. The operation signals Ukraine's growing confidence in conducting amphibious raids deep behind Russian lines. Previous strikes hit Snake Island and other Black Sea positions, but Tendrivska Spit sits closer to the Ukrainian mainland, suggesting expanded operational reach. For a long time, Ukraine has not ceased its increased activity in the area of the Golitsyn gas condensate field in the Black Sea, which was captured by the Russian Federation after occupation of Crimea. If the previous time landing and unmanned boats were spotted there, now the activity of a Portuguese Tekeva reconnaissance UAV, which is in service with the armed forces of Ukraine, was recorded there. It is this military hyperactivity that attracts the attention of the Russian armed forces to the Odessa region, especially the locations involved in the transportation, storage, launch, repair, and production of UAVs and other weapons. Therefore, Odessa, Ovidiopol, Belgorod-Dnistrovsky, Vilkovo, Chabanka, Yuzhny, Chornomorsk, and other settlements often fall under Russian strikes. Russian Reporter media outlet says, for example, in Vilkovo, the storage and launch facilities for unmanned aircraft on the border with Romania were destroyed, and in Chabanka, the warehouse for spare parts and repair equipment demilitarized. There are many targets hit, but the question of the time interval between Russian intelligence reports and the strike is still pending, although the interval is gradually decreasing and it is more difficult for the enemy to take action. It should be noted that the enemy pays maximum attention to the development of unmanned marine systems. The United States and Great Britain provide it with information and technical assistance. Norway has recently joined them. Combat modules from Kongsberg Defense and Aerospace will be used on Ukrainian unmanned aircraft. In addition, the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine is the customer of the recently developed by the German company Flank Q Recon unmanned boat, which is inexpensive to manufacture and whose creation focused on reducing detection. As for the products of the Portuguese company Tekeva, which works in the field of IT, aerospace, defense and security technologies, these are very high-tech products. The company has subsidiaries in the US, UK, France, and several other countries. It is the lead company in several European technology joint ventures. The Ukrainian armed forces are equipped with two types of UAVs. The Tekeva AR-3 is an autonomous small unmanned aerial system for medium-range maritime and land ISTAR missions. It can be launched from a catapult and landed using a parachute or net, or use the optional vertical takeoff and landing capability for additional flexibility and a reduced logistics footprint. In turn, the Tekava AR-5 is an advanced tactical UAV with SATCOM support for medium and long-range maritime and land ISTAR missions.